We are finally transforming that empty space. I had this vision, I knew what I wanted, and I was determined to get what I wanted. Hey homegirls! I am so excited about today's episode and just the facelift that this series is getting. If you guys are not familiar with the series, this is my house to home series that I am doing on my YouTube channel. I've been doing for a while in some ways. I already have a lot of videos. I will link the playlist down below in the description box, but a lot of videos just showing you guys how I've been essentially transforming my house into a home. But we have so many new episodes coming out. I'm excited to show you all the projects and for us to kind of go through transforming this house into a home, which I don't feel like honestly this ever stops. If I'm being honest, there's always something to transform in this house. But anyway, this episode, as you can tell by the title, we are finally transforming that empty space in my living room. You know, I literally have been talking about these two empty spaces on the side of my fireplace and my plans for these spaces and how I've been wanting to do custom bookshelves. It's been literally since I've moved into this house. I had this vision, I knew what I wanted, and I was determined to get what I wanted. I'm not gonna hold you, there were plenty of times where I was thinking about going in different directions because of the cost of the bookshelves, but I will say, now that they're done, there's just nothing like having custom bookshelves in these spaces. And just having customizations done to your home in general, there's nothing like it. You guys can kind of see a little slither of the actual bookshelves in this little confessional. Let me move y'all over a little bit. That was your little sneak peek. All right, the inspo for these bookshelves started when I saw this influencer's house, which I'm gonna like leave her information down below and tag, but her home is absolutely beautiful. I saw her home tour about a couple years ago, and I love elements of like the Californian like style. There's just something about like that design style that is absolutely beautiful to me, and I love her home. Her home is so California. I feel like it just gives those vibes, and I wanted to kind of bring some of those elements in my home, more so the bookshelves. So when I saw these bookshelves in her home, I knew it had to be in my house. Like I knew I had to do some type of just iteration of this. They are pretty similar to the T, which you guys will see, but there are some like subtle differences. I just wanted something that was gonna bring a little bit more moodiness and coolness to the room because the room is already so warm. It is light and airy, but it does have warm elements as well too, like through the wood tones that I have in here. So I just needed something that was just a little bit more moody and different and like a wow factor when you walk in the room. I just didn't want anything that was cookie cutter. Okay, we got a special delivery. Y'all know how long I've been waiting to get these custom bookshelves done, and even though they're not gonna be done today, I can't help myself but to just unbox these. My contractor is gonna actually like make sure they look custom, make sure, you know, they look built in like they came with the house. But for now, being that they're already together, I figured I would just go ahead and unbox them and put them in his place for him, you know, make his job easier. And plus I just can't help myself. That's just really what it comes down to. So we about to unbox this and see how they look, because I'm just like anxious. I want to see how they look and feel in the room, even though I know it's not gonna give me like the final look. So let's do that now. So like I said, I went through so many ideas and this one just felt right. This one I knew from the beginning that it was gonna be the one, but I just wanted to kind of go through like possibly putting consoles in this space, possibly putting artwork in this space, any variation of ideas I could think of to do with this empty space I have thought of, and I just came back to this idea every time. I worked with one of my favorite companies on this project, and that is Finishing Touch. Literally the craftsmanship and just the quality of work, just unmatched every time.
My name is Marquise Robbins. I'm the owner of Finishing Touch Interior Carpentry. We're based out of Stone Mountain, Georgia, Atlanta. Cover the whole metro Atlanta, Georgia, and we do travel 4 feet. So if you in the States, outside the States, we'll travel and do whatever you need when it comes to custom woodwork, carpentry, trim work, closets, built-outs, kitchens, anything in that space we'll cover. We got living room built-outs with 4 prefab cabinets on both sides, and then we got 6 floating shelves. So each side gonna have offset floating shelves, 3 over here and 3 on that side.
The owner actually built out my mudroom, which has like that moody vibe and feel, as well as he did some trim work in my dining room. And I just really like his work. He's very detail oriented. Like, he just really just does a good job. So I knew he was the perfect person to do this project.
Typically with these cabinets, in the back side of them, we got like the outlets. So we usually cut out the cabinets to run the outlets through and then get those faces on. And then we'll mend these faces together. So we got clamps that'll hold those together and lock these in. And then we screw everything into your studs on the back side of the wall. So that locks everything in. From there we go into trimming out the faces to give you that finished look, and then we'll start working on the floating shelves. It's gonna be dope, it's gonna be dope.
So the cabinets were actually purchased from a website called cabinets.com, so they're ready to assemble cabinets. So the contractor didn't have to assemble the cabinets. Those are custom ordered as well too. So when you order them, they go through, they build out the cabinets, they paint it with your custom paint color. And it really did not take that long. It was about like 4 to 5 weeks before I got my actual cabinets, which I think is pretty like reasonable. Any type of custom order just takes a long time anyways. I thought that was a really good time window, but the quality, when I opened these up, I absolutely, like, I was in love. I was in love with the quality and the color. Do y'all see this color? Do y'all see this color? Oh my gosh! So how the process worked is I showed my contractor the inspiration photo and he just ran with it, and we made some tweaks along the way. So the project took about 2 days to complete. He honestly like finished the entire project in a day, but he had to come back to kind of just make sure it was perfect, like just like minor like tweaks and touches that he had to do. So it took about 2 full days to just make sure everything was perfect and the vision came to life. Even though we are getting ready to assemble cabinets, there's so many steps to this project to make it look really good and that it was meant to be there all along. So while my contractor was here, I had a little dilemma of trying to figure out what hardware I wanted to be on the cabinets. I asked you guys on TikTok and Instagram to vote. So option 1 was essentially like this modern, like clean lines type of hardware, very beautiful. Option 2 was kind of more like this industrial kind of feel. Somebody told me, y'all, when I sent the actual like video to them, side note, to like vote on the 2 options, somebody told me that the second option looked like plumbing pipes. I just could not unsee that. And the crazy thing is, I was actually leaning towards option 2, but once we kind of held it up a bit more against the cabinets and you guys voted as well, it was honestly like an overwhelming majority of option 1. And I ultimately decided to just go with option 1 just because once I kind of started looking at it a little bit more, I just really like option 1 for the vibe that I'm eventually trying to get to in the living room. So it definitely just made the most sense for the design. All right, so we have about 3 stains to choose from, and I went with the stain that looks a bit more on like the grayish cool tone side. I just wanted something, again, that was more moody and cool tone anyway. I think it's gonna be perfect. Okay, they're adding all of the finishing touches to this project and it is looking so good, y'all. I've been peeking. I have been peeking the whole time, okay? I love it. I'm so glad that I went the custom route. Here's what we started with. Do you see what the space looked like before? It was nothing. It looked like nothing, quite literally nothing. It made the room feel just so blah, so empty. I just did not feel like anything that I could buy myself and put in that space would just do it justice, because it's such a huge space if you guys cannot tell. It is a huge space to fill, and now look at the result. Look at how beautiful the space is now. I love it. The detailing, just from the moody cabinet colors to like the cool tone wood to how the shelves are not going like all the way across. It literally looks just like the inspo picture, but I love the intentionality of this build. It's just beautiful. It really just brings the room together. This project is not over though. Now it's time to decorate these shelves, so make sure you stay tuned for the next episode to see how I decorate the shelves.